Hello everyone and welcome to Theme Park Worldwide, where today I'm here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach to talk about some really interesting and exciting developments that are currently happening here at the park. Not visited for about a month and a half, and in that time quite a bit has been happening regarding a couple of different projects here. So I thought I'd come down today, share an update with you all and talk all about it. Going to be starting off talking about some developments here at Ice Blast. Obviously the ride has remained closed throughout the whole of 2024. Back at the start of the year there was rumours that it was going to be removed, then they said they were waiting on parts to fix it, and then obviously as you can see now it's been covered in scaffolding almost all the way up to the top. So we're going to take a close-up look at that first, talk a little about what we can see. Along with that, we've got some exciting news about some potential demolition just around the corner towards the fountains, so I'm really excited to go and have a little look around there and just see what's happening. There's been all sorts of rumours and speculation that a new ride may be coming to Blackpool Pleasure Beach in the not too distant future, possibly purchasing an interim gyro swing. Again, the park haven't confirmed anything yet, this is just rumours and speculation, but yeah, it sounds very interesting that, you know, some work has started in that area to potentially demolish some buildings to make way for this future development. So yeah, lots going on at the moment here at Pleasure Beach. Along with that, it's also a really quiet October weekday, so I'm going to get loads of rides in and have a bit of an update with the merchandise and the rest of the park in the next video coming up on the channel. But I thought in this one I'm just going to focus on these exciting developments that are happening at the moment. Really interested to hear your thoughts on this as well, so get your comments in down below. Right then, let's get straight into it. I just wanted to share a little bit of history first about Ice Blast here at Pleasure Beach. It's been operating since 1997. It's an S&S shot tower and was the first of its kind to be built in the UK when it opened back then. And of course, it's now considered an older ride. I mean, 1997, we're in 2024 now. You know, it's had a good life here at the park and obviously needs some major work to fix this ride. And that is work that the park did say they were going to be doing back at the start of the year. They said the ride's closed, there's going to be work happening on there. But yeah, obviously the ride hasn't opened in 2024. We're now in the middle of October and yeah, to be honest, throughout most of the year, nothing had really happened. In fact, the gondola was still on there at the bottom, and yeah, nothing was really seen happening. And then quite a while back now, a couple of months ago, the gondola was removed from the bottom. They started to remove some of the fences around the bottom, a few other things like sensors and wiring were removed. And then obviously, over the past couple of weeks, this scaffolding tower has now appeared around the structure, which obviously is quite an interesting development because, you know, it could mean two things effectively. It's having a full refurbishment that requires the scaffolding to go up, or it is being removed. However, if you were removing a structure like this, would you cover it in scaffolding like that? I mean, I'm not a construction expert, that's where I need all of you guys to come in really. Anybody watching the channel who knows a lot about scaffolding and removing structures and large towers, you know, to remove something like this, would you put up a scaffolding structure? Because I would think you wouldn't, to be honest. I would expect it's a big crane to come in. Obviously a tower like this comes in multiple sections, and then you'd expect it to be removed, lifted off piece by piece. You know, that's what normally happens with a lot of tower rides like this, and we've seen that before at other parks. So yeah, just be really interested. Anybody that does construction, comment down below because I'd love to know your thoughts on that one. But obviously, you know, you can see the scaffolding tower's gone up. Personally, I think maybe it means that, you know, we're seeing a refurbishment of the ride rather than a removal. This is by no means confirmation. This is just pure speculation from myself about this project. Yeah, it does seem quite interesting to me. You know, because this must be costing a fair bit to hire all this scaffolding to go up to the top. You know, maybe we're going to be seeing a complete overhaul of this, and possibly could we be seeing it repainted? I mean, you know, to repaint a structure like this, then yeah, you'd cover it in scaffolding. So maybe we're going to see them do some of the inner workings of the ride and then give it a new colour scheme or a bit of a theme, maybe fit it in more with nearby Valhalla that's here. I mean, you know, it'd be interesting to see if they're spending a lot of money on refurbishing it from like a marketing and rebrand point of view. Maybe they're going to want it to give it a new name and a new theme, and I certainly wouldn't complain if it fit in with Loki's just behind it, and of course the awesome facade for Valhalla just over here too. So yeah, comment down below, I'd be really interested to know your thoughts on that one. But you mean a lot of the queue line's still in place down here, the turnstile's still down there as well. Obviously the park have, you know, gone quite silent about this one really, but I'm sure we're going to see some more updates soon, and if this tower is coming down, once that scaffolding reaches the top, maybe it's going to be coming straight down. But I think this is more going to be a refurbishment rather than a removal. We'll see. And it's also worth pointing out that they aren't trying to ignore the ride. I mean, they have left the signage up just over there. You can see it on the Union Jack, and even on the website it is listed as closed for maintenance. So it's one of those, isn't it? Will we see Ice Blast come back? I think we're probably going to, but I guess we'll see what happens as we move into this winter in 2025. But it wouldn't surprise me if we're seeing a full overhaul of the ride and maybe a new colour scheme. Yeah, we'll see what happens, but I could be completely wrong on that, purely my speculation. Personally, what I'd like to see them do is actually keep the ride. As much as Ice Blast isn't one of my favourites, I'd love to see a new drop tower here. I think, you know, another ride removal at this park would be bad news, really. You know, we need to see as many rides kept here as possible. A full refurbishment would be great to see, and obviously it is a general public favourite. It's iconic on the skyline, people love it, always gets big queues, so as much as it's not my favourite, I'd like to see it stay here at the park. And here's a view from a little bit further back looking at Ice Blast from just over by the fountains, and here you can see how the scaffolding is almost at the top, but there's still maybe another, what, 40 feet or something there, I'd say, until it reaches the top. That's if it's going all the way up. I mean, it might not. We'll see what happens. Yeah, really intrigued by this development here at the park. And there's also something else happening just behind me that I'm really interested about how this is going to be developing in the coming weeks and months. This area of Blackpool Pleasure Beach just hasn't felt the same for quite a number of years now, ever since the removal of Wild Mouse that used to stand here, a wooden Wild Mouse coaster that I miss each and every time I come here to Pleasure Beach, I really do. It was a brilliant ride, it was one of my favourites in the whole country, and it was sad when it was removed. But it wasn't just the ride that we lost, it was the atmosphere and the vibe in this whole area, and what didn't help was a couple of years later, they removed a lot of the nice facades down here opposite. I mean, the old Bowlerdrome had all rock work on and all these different figures and theming, and it looked great, it really did. Yes, it needed some TLC, it wasn't perfect, but you know what, it was a lot better than what we've got now, because it just looks so bland, and just round here just doesn't have much of an atmosphere at all. Obviously it's a quiet day today, but on a busy day even, just round here it just feels really like dark and just a bit depressing. You know, we're at the Pleasure Beach, it's supposed to be vibrant, fun and happy, and yeah, this area just feels like a lot of wasted potential. Obviously it's not helped this year with River Caves being closed as well. I really hope River Caves is back in 2025. There's been no further updates from the park, it's been shut for quite a few months now, no sign of work happening outside or anything. Obviously this sign is out the front here for one of the scare mazes, which is the tunnels that is partially used in this building. There was a lot of rumours again about what actually happened with River Caves, things about the ride system, possibly about a leak that happened into the building, so we don't fully know what's happening there officially from the park, but all I hope is that this is going to be back in 2025, because there's no real sign of anything happening yet around here. But I tell you where there is work happening, and that's directly opposite River Caves. Now this is very exciting, because of course this arcade, last time I was here, was operational. You could go inside, play all the games. All the games have now been removed, and there's been a lot of work happening around here over the past couple of weeks. And coming here today, I've also noticed a sign just on the window down here, and there's a bit of work going on inside from what I can see. There's a sign that says no entry, surveying in progress. You can see it just on the outside there, which is really fascinating, because of course there's been rumours about this gyro swing that Pleasure Beach may have purchased. Again, nothing official, it's all a speculation, but possibly could it be going over here? I mean, if you take out these buildings, it's going to open up a lot of room down here, isn't it? So yeah, as you can see, surveying in progress with the sign. You can see through the window, there's all sorts going on. Well, there you go. There it is, right on the front. So yeah, obviously you've got the arcade just here. We've also got Planet Rock next door. But behind this is actually a car park. So potentially we could see them remove the car park and create even more space around here. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but the fact this is being completely emptied out, as you can see all the games and everything are gone, then yeah, you know, it's a sign that could this building be getting completely demolished. I mean, a few years ago they did redo the facade here, but obviously it's very bland, isn't it? Doesn't really fix the actual issues with the building. I mean, there's been leaking going on in here for years. It's looked really tired inside. But yeah, you know, that's quite a big development. The fact that's been emptied and looks like that's going to be coming out. Something else that's quite interesting is a couple of weeks ago, these toilets closed just down here. Obviously the toilets at the bottom of the steps, just down from Infusion and Big Dipper, yeah, these are now closed. Is that a sign that a lot of this is going to be getting boarded up soon, closed off? Could these toilets maybe reopen at some point in the future? But obviously they are closed now, and they have been for a couple of weeks. So could these steps and everything be getting fenced off? Could we maybe see a big fence put all the way down the side just there and blocking this off, ready for demolition to begin? I mean, the fact they're surveying, that's really interesting. Planet Rock, the old show venue just here. Wouldn't surprise me if that gets pulled down as well. There's been nothing inside there for quite some time. But I think we'll just go outside the park and have a little look round on the car park because it is open today. So let's just go around the back and have a look what we can see from outside of Pleasure Beach and just show you that space for if they potentially do remove the car park as well to create even more room here for a project. Here comes the big one. Hey, and Infusion just going up the lift hill there as well. See, I made my way outside of Pleasure Beach over here onto the car park just so we can have a look at how much space there is here if they do potentially take that building out and expand onto this car park. And actually there's a lot of room back here. You've got to think Pleasure Beach are great when it comes to making the most of the space that they've got. And yeah, you look back here, there's quite a lot of space. Obviously you have got the existing structure for the big one just over here, but yeah, look at this, like all around here there is a lot of room that you don't necessarily realise is here. And obviously this is the back of the arcade just here as well, and yeah, the top of Planet Rock just over there from this side. So yeah, if you take them buildings out and expand back onto this car park, there is a lot of room here. And obviously you could even utilise this part of the structure underneath the big one, you know, with a new toilet block or possibly even queue line for a ride or anything like that, or even shops and restaurants, you know, whatever they wanted to do with this space. And obviously in the past we've seen how very clever Pleasure Beach are with building rides on top of each other and around each other, and we saw that back in 2018 with Icon. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see if anything does actually happen to this space, because you know it is a weighted space back here, isn't it really? Obviously, you know, you have got the car parking, they've got other car parks available. Like I say, they did actually make room for parking where a former hotel was around the corner last year and tarmac that area, which makes me think, you know, they could potentially expand back here. Even if they don't though, even taking out these buildings would still free up quite a bit of room, or maybe even just utilising half of the car park here, you know, take out these sections, make the new park boundary here, and you could fit a new ride, potentially the gyro swing in that location. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what happens. But there's a lot of wasted buildings and space, especially around here, you know. You also get another view of Ice Splash just there from outside the park and just how high up the scaffolding has got there. So yeah, I just wanted to come around here and show you it, 'cause to be honest, I don't think I've ever filmed on this car park, maybe years ago when I did like a closed season winter updates, but in general don't really come around here because never park on here, and obviously you don't usually stroll through here, do you? You know, on the way you just walking down the promenade. So yeah, I just wanted to show you it. And obviously all this building, I mean, it's in a very poor condition, isn't it now? So it wouldn't surprise me if this is going to be getting pulled down soon, or this winter. And even that, it takes up a lot of space, doesn't it? Obviously this glass building that we can see here is actually the seating area at the exit to Infusion, you know, where you've got the model just in there and also the photo booth. So yeah, very interesting, quite a lot of space. I'm certainly going to be keeping a close eye on this area. And yeah, you can walk through the archway just over here and have a little look at this space at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Yeah, really interesting stuff. So there we go, back inside the park then now, and I just wanted to show you the back of the arcade here from the car park and Planet Rock, because it's one of them that, you know, you walk down this pathway, you don't realise what's behind there and how much room there is. Again, the car park may stay, it may go, but it'd just be interesting to follow the developments and see what happens. Obviously, if it is an Intamin gyro swing they've purchased, possibly one of the larger models that it's rumoured to be, then it would fit probably on this site without even touching the car park, probably swinging in the direction that we can see where the arcade is now. And it would look amazing, wouldn't it? Especially coming down the ramp here. Even if the ramp stayed, I mean, we just don't know, do we? The whole layout could change around here with pathways and everything. We saw that when they took out Tom Sawyer Bridge to build Icon. But it does make me very happy that something's clearly happening in this area. Surveying is happening today. I can see people inside the building right now. And I know over the past couple of days they've been removing some electrics off the roof just here. And looks like they're preparing this to remove the building. So I guess the next thing to see is watch this space and see what happens. There's a big screen just on the side here. Obviously you're going to take all this cladding off, and we may see this covered in scaffolding, or they might just bring in the bulldozers, and before we know it, a few days it'll all be demolished. But watch this space, let's see what happens. Some exciting developments going on here at Pleasure Beach at the moment. Of course, there's rumours of a new hotel that could be built as well. I know that's Amanda Thompson OBE's plans to build possibly another hotel here, some third accommodation over on the other side where the Globe is, and Amanda did speak about that in a podcast podcast what she did not too long ago. So there's certainly a lot of exciting things going on at the moment, and I'm excited to follow it. Let me know your thoughts on this potential construction development and also Ice Blast down below in the video comments. I love keeping it interactive. I love knowing your thoughts, and there's certainly lots to be keeping our eyes on here as the rumours and speculation build up, and hopefully soon we're going to see some major construction happening just here too. Of course, thanks for joining me here on Theme Park Worldwide. Stay tuned for the next video coming up, because we're going to walk around the rest of the park, get some quiet rides in, see the Halloween decorations and so much more. But that leaves me with one final thing to say: get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next video.